We must stop the production of new clones if we are to win this war. I am a hero of
heroic cyborg General Grievous.
Grievous is not cruel, Grievous is not malicious. Actions of Grievous are heroic as a fact. It doesn't.
Isn't it? I've been looking forward to meeting you.
Hey guys, it's General Grievous here, the Factual Clone Wars, and today on this video we're going to be talking about the Jedi were never ruined by the Acolyte, as Grievous and the Separatists been told y'all the truth. And, you know, the reason why we're doing this is because, like I said, all these quote-unquote YouTubers of Star Wars, that these people that they know these facts in quotation, they studied all this information, are acting like crazy retards, and they're sitting here freaking out over the Jedi being the villains in the Acolyte win. First of all, let's go ahead and break it down that the lady already said that the Jedi were going to be the villains. So this is why, before the show even came out, so this is why I don't understand why people are even freaking out and fussing talking about like, oh, OMG, this is thing. The lady already said that this thing is going to be in the Star Wars canon that's going to show the Jedi as the true villains, which is what George Lucas's vision was. And for people to act like that's not what George Lucas wanted with the prequels and the Clone Wars Jedi to be quote-unquote villains. We want them to be quote-unquote villains, and they're supposed to be still the quote-unquote heroes and all this mess, which is stupid because George Lucas always said that the Jedi were supposed to be the villains in the prequels. There's not no flaws. So again, you can go check my video out again on that if you didn't watch it about the Jedi's evil actions aren't flaws. Link in the card right now. But again, there was no messing their evil actions are quote-unquote flaws because George Lucas already said before that the Jedi are evil in the prequels. As he said, Anakin had to choose between two evils. Again, Anakin had to choose between two evils. The Jedi are after power and the Sith are after power. So again, both sides, what George Lucas said, that both sides are after power. So again, which is not good. The Jedi are power-hungry villains trying to overthrow the Republic. They wanted their control. They wanted it. But still, not good. And we all know the Sith are not good either. So again, this is why George Lucas said Anakin had to choose between two evils because he didn't know, but ultimately he chose the Sith. So again, the Jedi villains is a fact in the pre-Clone Wars and the Clone Wars. So for all these so-called Star Wars fans, in quotation, getting mad, sound retarded, and need mental help because the Jedi's evil actions aren't heroic. And this is not good, is in quotation bad now, and bad is in quotation good. This has always been the facts, but because of the biased portrayal of the Jedi, you were taught to think they are quote-unquote heroic when they're clearly villainous. In the biased portrayal mind, good, Grievous, and the CIS is in quotation bad, and bad, the Jedi Republic, is in quotation good. Nobody is saying the Sith are in quotation good either because they're just as villainous as the Jedi, being murderous cultists, zealots, willing to commit genocide and other heinous acts to any of those who don't stand with the Republic and kidnap children and indoctrinate them and send them off to their deaths to further the agenda is what the Jedi do, and it is not heroic in any shape or form. Grievous is a hero, and it's the fact that he's killing the villain's Jedi and avenging his people. So all these people acting like the Acolyte is quote-unquote portraying the Jedi wrong. You're the delusional one, and you're not a Star Wars fan at all. Because this is already what the facts is. General Grievous and the Separatists been told y'all the truth that the Jedi are the villains and they are the heroes as facts, but y'all fools pass it off as an in quotation villain perspective. And this is, like I said, they've been told y'all the truth. This is why I always laugh when people keep trying to say Grievous and the Separatists are quote-unquote delusional and they're these quote-unquote villains because of the narrative is portrayed and they're antagonist heroes which are not even villains. Like I said, General Grievous is a hero. That's just the facts in Star Wars canon. He does no evil acts. You can't use what has he done that's quote-unquote villainous, which you can already go check it out on that video where I explain. Link in the card right now. But like, man, all his actions are heroic because they're against the Jedi. The Jedi slaughtered his innocent people, and they're doing all this other evil stuff in the galaxy. So how's his heroic actions of killing them and killing the evil Republic, quote unquote, villainous? And then going after the Night Sisters, you can even say that's quote unquote sinister because the Night Sisters are villains. Again, the Night Sisters were not even heroes, but since they're protagonist villains in the Tales of the Empire, some people start feeling bad for them. And again, this is another thing which I'm going to have to dive into a whole video talking about that later, but not today. We're going to just tap on this quick, is that again, the Jedi are protagonist villains, and this is the issue that people get, is that their villain protagonist is because it's portrayed through their eyes, so it makes you feel bad and feel like they're quote unquote the heroes when they're still the actual villains that you're not supposed to be supporting. You're supposed to support the heroic people called General Grievous and the Separatist Alliance, which are the heroic antagonists, which is not like, again, an antagonist does not mean evil all the time, it's just the opposing to the main, which is still the heroic antagonists is what Grievous and the Separatists are. But you do have some Separatists in there that are evil and that do all these, genocides and greed, like gunnery and all this stupid stuff. Those don't count to the actual heroic faction of what the goals is. That's just what the truth is, which is why, again, those minor people that were doing that, like Lockdirt and Newt Gunray and Tambor or whatever, they don't matter to the Grievous, the Mina Bonteri, the Trench, and the O.C. Sobek and Warren Blowson. They're actually doing the heroic actions and caring about the actual cause of the Separatists. Those people are just using the heroic steps to further their own evil goals. So they don't count as part of, oh, see, that helps prove the steps are in quotation villains. I'm like, no, that just proves these people do not even care about the real cause. So, again, they've been told y'all the truth that the Jedi are the villains. So that's like for everybody to push this narrative like it's just, oh, they're just hating and, oh, it's some villain perspective and all this stuff, which is why Dave Filoni's bias, like even, we got a shout out to Don't Call Me Nice because, like I just gave him a shout out, he spoke the real. He spoke the real. Like he said, he can't even comprehend how the mere thought that Grievous is an in quotation villain crosses someone's mind because the Jedi are obviously evil and not even Dave Filoni's biased portrayal can hide it. So again, if Dave Filoni's portrayal couldn't even hide that the Jedi are the villains, what are people even complaining about? It's like I said, the facts are right there. These are been the facts and the truth, but you guys try to keep saying, oh, it's not. And like I said, for all these YouTubers acting like, oh, these facts and all this fussing and all these people, you know what it is. You already studied the facts, so why are you fussing about it? Because like I said, if you're a casual fan, I understand because you don't know. You're not doing the research. You probably didn't watch the Clone Wars or whatever. But again, they were not supposed to be the heroes in the Clone Wars and the prequel trilogy at all. That's why Luke, during the original trilogy, the Rebels and all that timeline after the Clone Wars, after Order 66, they were the good because they weren't doing the genocides on innocents. They weren't abducting children. Was Luke doing that? No. Luke was actually trying to help people and do good, which is what the Jedi were supposed to do from the beginning. This is why Qui-Gon was the only one that was good and didn't support the evil acts. So again, all this nonsense of trying to sit here say, oh, they were supposed to be like these original, like the Luke's, the original trilogy. No, all this flaws mess. No, like I said, they were never supposed to be. They were always the villains because, like I said, you're doing cruel and malicious acts, and you're doing, and then on top of that, you're lying about atrocities, which you just saw in the Acolyte. They're lying about atrocities, and then people try to sit here and say, oh, well, the Acolyte Jedi are not the same as the prequel and Clone Wars Jedi villains, so we can still call the Clone Wars Jedi in quotation heroes and all that mess. No, because when Ki-Adi Mundi and Yoda showed up, that connected it, so therefore now you can't say, oh, that's not the prequel and the Clone Wars Jedi, because once Ki-Adi Mundi and Yoda showed up, once those two evil villains showed up, it connected all the Jedi villains with the Acolyte. So again, you can't sit here and say, oh, it's not the same Jedi villains from the Clone Wars, oh, it's different, it's so different. No. Like I said, you're trying to do anything to deny the truth right in front of your effing face, which is stupid. Again, the facts been there in your effing face, so to deny it is just retarded because you're trying to do mental gymnastics to deny saying Grievous is a heroic character in Star Wars canon. It's so stupid. The mental gymnastics trying to deny saying the Jedi are villains. But like I said, I don't understand why people are just getting mad over it. And like the Acolyte just showed what it is. The Jedi are the villains. Like I said, Trace and Rafa's parents. Another thing, they're not even in the Separatist Alliance, but they're just people that had the Jedi kill their parents and they didn't even care. So again, when Ahsoka turned good in season 7 and all that, again, not everybody that quote unquote says, oh, calls the Jedi villains out are villains. This is why, Dave Filoni's flaws and his mess trying to make everything look like, oh, any person that calls out, oh, they're so wrong and they're so quote unquote villainous, when these people actually have valid and heroic reasons to hate the Jedi villains. Like I said, even sometimes the Sith do, but it doesn't make the Sith good, because what the Sith are doing is just as bad as them. But what Grievous is doing, like I said, what is Grievous and Trench doing that's quote unquote evil? The only thing they're doing is killing the evil. Grievous is not killing innocents like his Legends counterpart. Grievous is only doing heroic actions, unless it's the facts, and Trench is only doing heroic acts. Like anyway, that's all. General Grievous Hero the Facts. Clone Wars is to say, like, subscribe, share if you're new, and you already know Grievous is famous for a real quote. I've been looking forward to meeting you. And remember, I'm a hero that does heroic actions, and look how evil the Jedi are. I told y'all, but y'all try to make it look like we were crazy. Have a good day, y'all. Always remember that Grievous Hero is a fact and not an opinion. Keep it factual, keep it real, y'all. I'm out.